All right, everybody. Hey, guys, listen, thank you so much for joining the Offenses Defense Workshop tonight. And, guys, yes, I'm doing this on my Bushin Lounge radio show live because I believe there's a lot that can go with this podcast as well as training for financial agents and financial clients as well, because all this is transferable. It's about leadership. That's why I call this the training of Kintsugi Financial Leadership Training System, right? So this is part of the training system, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for coming on the live today. And it's my privilege and honor. My name is Jason Murray. I run Warriors Heart Financial Agency. You guys know on the Bushin Lounge, Bushin means Warriors Heart. It's my brand, okay? So, um, Warriors Heart Financial Agency, we don't just put people in products. We actually teach people and coach people through financial leadership. So we get them the best products that they need based on their profile. It's not a cookie cutter category here, okay? And we go over that through our training process. But today, I wanted to talk about action, okay? Because anything is good, it's a good idea, but a good idea with the action is just a good idea. It's not implemented. A goal without implementation and action is just a wish. So, guys, we are talking about action. Most people don't lose financially because they lack effort. They lose because they hesitate by overthinking, by delaying. They get stuck in preparation instead of execution, right? And guys, I've done this. I've been in this situation. Guys, listen, I get caught up in this situation from time to time because as a martial arts professional, see, and my martial arts instructors will tell me that I've hesitated to get my international fourth degree black belt in Kokusai Shotokan Rengokai. I have. Now, many things because preparation. But guys, you don't get prepared until you do. That's the bottom line. You don't get prepared until you do. So tonight's focus, like I said, application or action, applicable action, not motivation. Motivation. Let me tell you something about motivation. You can't motivate the unmotivated. You can only motivate the accountable. You can't motivate anybody. You can only motivate and everybody. You can only motivate the accountable. So if you are accountable, then you can be motivated, right? Right? There you go. But if you're not accountable, you're not self motivated. You don't have the skill to being motivated long term when the pain hits, when you get punched in the face because you blocked with your face and you need a correction and get your financial guard up, right? Right? You have to be in a position to where when the pain hits, and it will hit, when the strikes come, when the throws and takedowns happen, you have the ability to stay motivated in the fight. So it's not motivation, it's not theory, not another good idea, right? We're talking, we're taking what we know and forcing it into what we do. Okay. So let me ask you something. How long have you known what you should be doing, but haven't been doing it consistently? Right. Right. See, guys, let me say that again. Let me ask that again. How long have you known what you should be doing, but haven't been doing it consistently? Right. See, I can respect that because I've been there. I was there 2 days ago. Right. But listen, I took the action today, made 40 calls. I set 5 appointments out of those 40 calls. Why a number so low? Well, they were cold calls. They were leads that I have obtained through third-party sources. Okay. I didn't pay for the lead. I've never bought a lead in my entire life. But they were leads I generated from other people. They were leads I received from other people. Okay. I don't know you, you don't know me, but your name came across my profile. You applied for a position at my agency, right? That's how I start the conversation. You got to have the action to do it. You can't just sit on the deal and be like, my system is outdated. I got to come up with a perfect system. By the time you come up with the perfect system, your perfect system is going to be obsolete. Bottom line, straightforward to the point, that's the truth. Okay. So look, I can respect that because that's where most people are. They're not confused. They're just not executing. Right. So this is where tonight changes the game. Okay. We're not adding more information. Let me tell my theoretical and analytical people here, guys, we're not adding information. Information comes as you do, as you implement. I understand you guys don't want to fail, but guys, avoiding failure makes you the biggest failure. Let's be honest. Avoiding failure makes you the biggest failure. What does the Bible say? And I say this all the time, a righteous man falls 7 times, but gets back up. What does the foolish man and the lost man do? He falls once and never gets back up because he's avoiding failure. Let that sink in. See, we're not adding information. We are pressure testing your current reality because without a pressure test, you're not going to know that your technique is not working for you. You're not. You ever been in a dojo? You ever been in a boxing ring? You ever been in a cage fight? You ever been in a ring? You, you ever been wrestling before? And all you had was a good old boy brawler, barroom brawler out here, but no technique? When you go against a trained fighter, what happens? Like a true legitimate trained fighter. I'm not talking no Mick Dojo Jr. out here that's been given this rank and been given that rank, been given this promotion and that promotion. There are some financial services agencies that do that. They'll just give you a promotion just to give you a promotion because it'll motivate you. No, it won't motivate you. You're not going to be skilled, trained, and developed enough to live in that rank, in that promotion. So we're pressure testing your current reality because anything that doesn't hold under pressure breaks when it matters every single time. Every single time. I've seen it in myself. I've seen it in the several black belts I've trained over the past 27 years. And I'm seeing it through the agents that I have in my agency right now. Everything is becoming a reality because their stuff isn't holding up. And let me be upfront and honest. I was with another company, and I have 20-year-old experience, right? But that 20-year-old experience stayed the same because I used those old tactics and did not adapt to the fight that was at hand. Okay, so it didn't hold under pressure, and I knew that, and I saw that, and it continued to happen. So guys, we're pressure testing your current reality because anything that doesn't hold up under pressure breaks when it matters. Anybody that's a client or a potential client in my financial agency or with my team or with the people that I surround myself with, right? So there's a reason you've been operating the way you have financially over the past several years. You've made decisions based on what you were told, what you assumed, what you hoped would work. Watching YouTube, Facebook, TikTok videos. But here's the question most people avoid. Does it actually hold up? Tonight, we run it through structure. We identify what you're currently doing. We break down where it is strong. We expose where it's weak, and we rebuild it correctly. That's what Kintsugi means. Kintsugi Financial Leadership Training. We help families, individuals, and business owners repair their broken finances with our leadership solutions and structure. That's what we do here. We don't do it by products. Anybody that says, oh, hey, you need to get a term insurance, or hey, you need to get an IUL, what are they focusing on? They're focusing on the product, not the solution necessarily. I mean, they could be a great product for this person over here and this person over here, but they're not a great product for anybody and everybody, because not anybody and everybody would qualify for something like that, either financially or health-wise. Keep that in mind. You qualify for life insurance, you don't buy life insurance. Okay? It's all dealt with in an underwriting process, just like your homeowner's insurance, just like your auto insurance, just like any other insurance out there. Insurance is protection that goes through underwriting. Okay? So the next move we teach our clients. We also teach our agents this because they have to know what it looks like, what it feels like. They have to go through the pressure testing of their technique as well in order to help you, any client, with their pressure test. See, we don't just throw agents out there and just be like, hey, go get a license and good luck, buddy. Go watch a couple of videos. No, we take them through a hands-on field training process. And that hands-on field training process includes their own financial game fight, their own financial workshop, their own financial analysis, their own financial systems that need to be in place. If they don't do that, they cannot be a qualified person in the field. You have to do and train in the technique. It's like becoming a black belt. If you're joining a martial arts school and you're looking to be an instructor, which is a third degree black belt, or a third degree black belt for all of my friends outside of the USA pond, right? If you're going to be a black belt, you have to train like a black belt. You have to train as a student for the number of trainings you have to go through, right? To be certified field trainer, third degree black belt. And third degree black belt on average takes about 10 to 15 years on average. If you're getting a good, structured, full developed system, it doesn't take 2 years. And kids don't even qualify for it. Adults, you have to be an adult to be a good quality certified third degree black belt. So why would I take any of my agents and just say, oh, you got a license, now you can just go sell? No, can't. You got a license, but you need to learn the system. See, I've got a third degree black belt in Shotokan. But what do I have to do if I wanted to go train in Goju-Ryu Karate? I have to go learn their system before they will get me the certification to go promote their system and teach their system. Otherwise, it would be flawed. You have to do that as a school teacher. You have to do that as a college professor. So why would anything change? So your move, if you're an agent or a client, is the expert financial analysis. We call it the EFA for short. Not a guess, not a sales pitch, a pressure test, a true pressure test of your financial life. Let me be direct. If what you're doing is solid, we confirm it. If it's not, we fix it. Okay? Plain and simple. So here's the real question. How hard is it to move forward when clarity replaces confusion? think about that as we are going through this process. And guys, if you don't have a financial plan, and if you paid for one, that's even worse. Because an expert financial analysis should not cost you money to tell you exactly what you already probably know and thinking about in the back of your head. Like I told somebody the other day who was getting me to come into one of the big name Eddie J, right? Eddie J. Some of the guys in the industry, you know who I'm talking about. Eddie J. or Chuck Schwab, right? You know, these guys, right? And I had two of those guys come up and say, "Hey, we'll get you an analysis done for $500." And I said, "Hey, dude, I'm in the industry. I already know where I'm at. I don't need to pay you to know where I'm at. I just need to know how to get out of where I'm at, right?" And that right there is what we do. We don't. It's customizable. It's complementary, and it's tailored to you. Not to anybody and everybody else, not category A, category B, category C. It's tailored to you. Okay. You. Because everybody has similar situations, or a lot of people have similar situations, but not everybody has the same situation. Each individual has a different situation. They do. And so that's why we do that. And let's say something changes down the road. It's like, hey, Jason, I want to get on your calendar. I just got this debt taken care of. How close am I to getting out of debt? How close am I to freeing up some of that money so that I can significantly put some more money into some investment modules or some retirement, or I would say retirement modules and such. And I have financial advisors and CFPs in my agency team in the hierarchical agency. Okay. So I can set you guys up with those guys, but we won't do that until we go back and revisit it. This is when it comes to tailoring. It's like losing weight, right? You lose weight, you bought this $400 suit. Now you didn't pay anything for the EFA, but just go along with me here in the example. So you need to go get your suit retailored, right? If you're a man, or you need to get your dress retailored if you're a female, and because you lost weight, but you don't want to get rid of that because you really like it and it still stands for today's fashion, right? That's what the expert financial analysis is. But again, you don't pay anything for it, right? You don't pay anything for the expert financial analysis. You just call me up and say, hey, look, I lost weight in my debt. Let's see what it looks like. Great, wonderful. Let me tailor that for you. And let's see how close we are to getting you to your goals and dreams, right? Agents, this is where you either level up or stall out. Okay, so we're moving on from clients to agents, right? Now keep in mind, the client portion is for the agents too, like I said before. But let's remove all the dadgum noise. There are only 5 things that matter in your business, agents, money senseis. Okay, money sensei. Now, if you're coming from an old system and you need to get into a good, complete system, we can talk after. But this is for information, okay, guys? So listen, there are 5 things that matter in your business: prospect, debt, present, close, duplicate. Okay? Let me say that again. Write this down. Prospect, number 1. Debt, number 2. Number 3, present. Number 4 is close. Number 5 is duplicate. And you need to do all of these within 24 hours of each of them. Oh, I don't want to be pushy to my clients. Let me ask you something. If you have the solution to your clients winning their financial fight and getting out of financial cancer, getting out of any kind of financial cancer, why are you holding that from them? Why are you not getting them the medication that they need right now? And I don't mean real medication, I mean solution. Why aren't you giving them the solution right now? Because they need that solution. A decision is made emotionally and defended logically. Okay. All right. Well, if the logic is, hey, they saved me from this problem that I had financially, and they gave me a solution. And now my next step is to fix the other issue and bring it to solution, bring it to resolution, right? If you're not growing, one of those is broken, or three, or four, or five. Let me ask you guys this. Think about this, okay? Think about this. Which one of these five areas do you struggle with the most? Is it the prospecting? Is it the setting appointments? Is it the presenting your solution? Is it closing the solution? Or are you having issues duplicating it to your agency team? Which one of those five is it? It could be one, it could be all five. I don't know. But you got to determine that for yourself. If you want to have any kind of extra training, you can message me privately. Get in contact with me. Okay. But again, if you're not growing and you're not getting to the next level, and if you're maintaining or dying, like your income's reducing, right? One of or five of these are broken. And I can respect that because, dude, I'm always growing and adapting to these things. Everything changes as life goes on. People receive information differently as life goes on. So I can respect that because I have to adapt every single year, every single month. I don't leave the system. I adapt to how I apply the system. I do not ruin the system by going to this other group over here and getting trained by them. I stay within my group. I stay within my system because number one, I don't want to get confused. But number two, I want to make sure my technique is effective and efficient. And then how I apply those standards and that technique comes in a way that it's tailored to me as the agent, as the broker, as the leader. So I hope that now, you know, and a lot of agents stay busy. How many of you guys are like, you got the entrepreneur brain? I like saying ADHD. I like saying entrepreneur brain. And you're just like going around, ooh, opportunity, ooh, opportunity. Oh, hey, I can add this to my portfolio. Oh, hey, I can add that to my portfolio. But if it takes time away from keeping the main thing, you've already lost because they're not productive. They're just busy. Doom scrolling social media, posting 50,000 posts on social media, you know, listening to videos, listening to music, going to the park. Oh, hey, I got to go take the dog outside. Well, if there's other family members in the household, they can take the dog outside while you're meeting with your client, while you're meeting with your agent, right? And let's be honest, that can be hard to do in the beginning, but in the end, let me tell you something. They're going to be grateful. If you gave them 20 grand, right? You know, I'm not saying that's the average. I'm just using that as an example. You give them an extra $500 a month. You gave them an extra $1,000 a month. You gave them an extra $10,000 a month. Whatever level you're at, right? Because activity without structure creates inconsistency. Oh, I know all about that from personal experience. But hey, guess what? Listen, I put that aside. I threw that away. I burned it in the fire, and did 40 calls today. It's been a long time since I did that, but I did 40 calls today. Now, is that great and wonderful for a guy who's in a full time sector? I don't know. Some people make 100 calls a day. Some people only make 10 calls a day. But if 10 calls a day is all you can do, then that's great. If 10 calls a day is better than what you did yesterday, fantastic. You're going to the next level. If 5 calls is better than what you did yesterday, you're going to the next level because now you're building a structure instead of inconsistency. What am I going to do tomorrow? Well, I'm at least going to do 40 calls tomorrow and set 5 more appointments or maybe 10. Don't know. But if you are full time, you should at least be setting 10 to 20 appointments a week. That's the minimum. Okay. Tonight, we isolate the gap. Are you not prospecting enough? Right? How many people, if you can count the number of people you talk to, then you're not talking to enough people. If you can count, or if you can count and say the names of people that you talked to. I don't remember any of the names I talked to today, but I have it on my list. So I can go look at that list and be like, yep, I called Joe. Yep, I called Susan. Yep, I called Chris. Yep, I called Jason. Right? Yep, I called Steve. Right? Right? Are you setting week appointments? What are week appointments? So if you're in the industry, guys, if you're an agent, your initial goal, see, unlike any other industry, I know I jumped off a little bit, but I'm going to tie it back. Unlike any industry, if you're in financial services, just by looking at somebody, you could tell that they probably need your services. Well, how can you say that, Jason? Well, let me ask you this first. If you're in real estate, can you tell if a person needs a home? Can you tell if a person needs a new place to rent without talking to them? Without talking to them, by just looking at them. I'm not talking about a homeless person that can't even afford a home. I'm talking about people that can afford your service, they can apply your service, and they can make their life better. Can you do that just by looking at somebody? I'm not knocking real estate. I love real estate. Real estate's awesome. Not knocking you guys at all, but I'm just giving an example here. Okay. Let me ask you this. Can you seriously look upon somebody and say, they need a new house, I'm going to go talk to them? Without knowing their financial situation, without knowing where they are with their credit score, you probably can't. But a financial services person can literally look at somebody and 9 times out of 10 figure out they qualify for any of our services. Because a mother is pushing a baby stroller and she's got another kid walking in her hand to hand. Got a ring on her finger, right? Got a ring on her finger. Got a guy dressed up in a suit walking around, full, he's passing out, and he's talking business on his phone, and you're listening to it. Oh, yeah, he might need a couple of rollovers into a retirement asset or into a fundable asset for more business opportunities, right? If they're driving a car, hey, they need auto insurance. They need a quote on auto insurance. If they're living in a home or they have a rental property or several, they can use home and renters insurance, right? But you look at any of them, they have a home, they have a car, they have a job, an occupation, right? So I go to somebody and they're working. Oh, hey, they might qualify for my business. So are you setting week appointments going to try to recruit the guy who's living in grandma and grandpa's basement and doesn't have a job and doesn't have a career and playing video games all his life? Right? Exactly. Are you talking to your broke brother-in-law that wants to give you all kinds of criticism? Right? I'm not saying all brother-in-laws are that way. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. Are you talking to the back alley dude at the 7-Eleven or the Quick Trip? Right? Or are you finding people that are married or that are business owners that are entrepreneurially minded or have a career, have a job, have a full-time W-2 employment. They have children in the house, under the age of 18, under the age of 25, living in the house. Their age is between 25 to 65. They own a home and, you know, they have a career. They have a job. That's a solid appointment. That's a solid appointment. Are you presenting without control? Are you just going all over the place, just telling everybody information overload? Oh, hey man, I'm in this great company. I'm in this wonderful company. We have stocks, we have shares, we have great compensation. You can be a business owner, you can be this, you can be that. Nobody flipping cares. You know what people care about? They care about you isolating what they're trying to get away from and giving them the solution to that. Hey, let me ask you, John. How's the? Let me ask you a few questions, okay? And trust that everything stays between you and me. And we're gonna be really respectful of your time. We're gonna spend maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops, okay? And then we're going to um, let you trust that everything's not going to go sideways. Okay. So let me ask you, what's the current career you're doing? Right. What do you like about your current career and how long have you been doing it? How long have you been doing your career? 3 to 5 years. Great, great. What do you like most about your career? Is it, and what's most important to you about your career? Is it security? Is it achievement or elevation, right? Is it significant? What or is it salary? What is it? Hey, look, if you were to change one thing about your career right now, that if you were the boss, you were the owner, right? And there was one thing you could change that would make your job perfect, what would that be? I can respect that. Most people go through that. I know I did when I was an employee. Now, let me ask you this. If I can offer you a solution that would change that trajectory and get you in a position to where you can work with me 5 to 10 hours a week, right? That's right. I said 5 to 10 hours a week. Okay. You keep your security of your job until you match your income and it fixes the problem and creates a solution for you. How hard is it to move forward? See, that's a good presentation that leads to a good close, right? Are you failing to close? 9 times out of 10, people fail to present and fail to close because they're doing too much information and not enough asking questions. The quality of questions you ask determines the quality of appointments and interviews you have. Are you not duplicating at all? And a lot of times we run into this. People don't duplicate because their system's not simple, but it's personality driven. Now, I love personality driven people. They're high strung, motivated. They're very active. They're very boisterous. They're very, ooh, yeah, there we go. And they're all Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Ric Flair getting into the deal. And they're closing everybody, but their agents aren't closing anybody. Their duplication isn't working, right? It could be that you're too focused on talent, your ability to close people without creating a system for it. Right? That's like I see this all the time in martial arts. People are great fighters, but they never do duplicate themselves as a great fighter. They never set up the next generation to go fight in the ring on their behalf. So, We fix in real time. No later, not someday. We fix today. And how do we do that? We don't operate on opinion. We operate on structure, a proven system or proven systems, and measurable outcomes. Okay. If it works, it stays. If it doesn't, it gets replaced. And think about this. What happens at your job if you don't work? You get replaced, right? You get replaced. And you probably you just get replaced, right? Here's the real problem. Most people are waiting to feel ready. Oh, I'm just not ready yet. I'm just not ready yet. I'm just not ready yet. Do you think Lyoto Machida was ready when he first got into the ring? Do you think Bas Rutten was ready when he first got in the ring? Do you flip and think Michael Jordan was ready when he decided to jump back in and push for the pros after he got rejected from his high school? He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready in capability, but he made himself ready in his mind. I may not be ready, but I'll get ready by doing. Not I'll get ready and go on ChatGPT and research all this stuff and research all that and create my own AI bot and all this stuff. Stop it. What you already have is good enough to begin and to test your technique and your process. You may surprise yourself and figure out that maybe your technique wasn't so bad in the first place. Maybe it was a little easier than you thought it was. But readiness, so guys, most people are waiting to feel ready. But readiness doesn't come from thinking, it comes from action. Got to get out there and do it. The great Art Williams says, you got to do it. You got to do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. Well, Art, I did it back here in my previous company and I did really well. Do I have to do it? Yeah, you really got to do it. Why? Because it's a new system. It's a new system. It's a new situation. It's a new system. It's a new platform. Of course, you got to do it and you got to do it. And if you were good at that previous company, who's to say you're not going to be extremely better in this one in a whole lot less time? Because I've seen it. I have seen it. The guy from the May left $2 million at one company, came to our IMO that I tied my agency to, right, and did it in 18 months. What the flipping heck? There was another guy who left 600 grand and did it in 18 months. He's at $2.4 million. Now, that's not everybody, but they were high level of those previous companies. They already went through the pain, the suffering. So, yeah, you really got to do it. If you were big over there and you come over here, you really got to do it. But you'll do it in a whole lot less time than you did over there, more than likely. I'm seeing it over again. Guys, here's the shift. When you move into structured action, guided execution, and consistent habits, everything changes. And I mean everything. Guys, I said this last week and the weeks before. A habit is an unchosen and unthought about. A decision takes a lot of emotional energy that is finite. So that's why you got to turn these small decisions to picking up the phone and calling people into a habit. Oh, hey, it's a habit for me to pick up the phone and call 40 names. It's a habit for me to pick up the phone and call 5 names. It's a habit for me to collect 10 new names and numbers every single week. It's a habit for me to look at my EFA every single month to see where I'm at, to look at my bank account and see where I'm at, to look at my bills to see where I'm at, to form my budget to see where I'm at. Right? And I respect that this may hit quite direct, but let's be honest. What it's costing you to stay where you are. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And you can either spend a whole lot less now with a whole lot more value, or you can wait and spend a whole lot more later, a lot less value. Let that sink in. You can spend a whole lot less now and have a heck of a lot more value, or you can wait. You can stay the same. And when the time comes and you're diagnosed with some terminal condition in your financial situation, you're going to spend a whole lot more and get way less. Nothing, not another call, not another meeting, a line drawn. Get your EFA done now. Pressure test everything. It's complimentary. There's no reason you shouldn't. Agents, you need to lock into the system. Execute with precision, right? If you're happy where you're at, then get back to your leadership and lock into the system. If your leadership is not available, go to their leadership. If their leadership is not available, go to their leadership, right? Don't leave teams just to leave teams. You become the equalizer. You become the one that takes the team and redirects it into great success. Lock into the system. Execute with precision. The final line is this, guys. Intention with action, that's direction. Winners find a way, losers make excuses. Don't be a coward, do it afraid. Guys, if you want the next steps and you don't have any leadership, and you're doing this on your own, you may run your own agency and you're dropping thousands of dollars a month just to run your agency. And you want something new, you want something different, you want to bring your entire agency over to a place that's going to drastically change your overhead and change your systems and help you win in the financial game, in your financial fight, and in your agent's financial fight, and in your client's financial fight. I've got a place for you. Clients, if you want to start looking and seeing if your finances are pressure tested, there's no cost to you. Okay? Listen. Intention with action, that's direction. That's all I have tonight, guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you at the top. Let's go. Let's move. And let's win the financial fight. I'll see you guys next week.